First contact. The vast expanse of space had always held humanity's fascination, but on that fateful day in 2047, it became clear that we were no longer alone in pondering its mysteries. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the ISS Horizon, Earth's most advanced space station, her eyes fixed on the holographic display before her. The anomaly had appeared without warning, a massive object decelerating as it approached Earth's orbit. Status report. Sarah barked, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Lieutenant Rodriguez, her second-in-command, responded without taking his eyes off his console. Object maintains controlled deceleration, Captain. Estimated time to geosynchronous orbit, 17 minutes. Sarah nodded, her mind racing. Years of training had prepared her for many scenarios, but first contact with an alien civilization, that was beyond even her wildest imaginations. Inform Mission Control and patch me through to the Security Council, she ordered, straightening her uniform. And someone get me a damn coffee. As the station buzzed with activity, Sarah couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. Humanity was about to step onto the galactic stage, ready or not. The alien vessel, a sleek behemoth that dwarfed even the largest human spacecraft, settled into orbit with impossible grace. Its hull shimmered with an iridescent glow, defying any known material science. "We're receiving a transmission, Captain," Rodriguez announced, his voice tinged with awe. Sarah took a deep breath. On screen, the holographic display flickered, and suddenly, they were face to face with the unknown. The alien that appeared was vaguely humanoid, with elongated limbs and a head that seemed too large for its body. Its skin was a pale blue, marked with intricate patterns that seemed to pulse with an inner light. "Greetings, humans," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious hum that seemed to bypass their ears and resonate directly in their minds. "I am Ambassador Zixol of the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace." Sarah stepped forward, her heart pounding. "I am Captain Sarah Chen of Earth. On behalf of humanity, we welcome you." What followed was a whirlwind of diplomatic exchanges, cultural misunderstandings, and technological revelations. The Galactic Confederation, it turned out, was a loose alliance of spacefaring races that had been observing Earth for centuries. Humanity's recent leaps in technology had finally deemed them worthy of contact. As Sarah coordinated with Earth's leaders and scientists, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The aliens were forthcoming with information about the galaxy, but certain topics seemed to make them nervous. It was during a private conversation with Zixol that Sarah's suspicions were confirmed. "Captain Chen," the ambassador said, its large, multifaceted eyes blinking rapidly. "There is something you must know. The Confederation's decision to contact Earth was not purely out of scientific curiosity." Sarah leaned forward, her coffee long forgotten. "Go on." "There is a threat looming on the galactic horizon, a force that has already consumed several civilizations. We believe that humanity's unique adaptability and ingenuity may be key to stopping it." The revelation sent shockwaves through Earth's governments. Some saw it as an opportunity for humanity to prove its worth, others as a potential trap. Debates raged, alliances shifted, and in the midst of it all, Sarah found herself thrust into the role of humanity's de facto ambassador to the stars. As the first month of alien presence on Earth drew to a close, tensions were running high. The initial excitement of first contact had given way to fear and suspicion. Reports of strange phenomena and unexplained disappearances near alien outposts fueled conspiracy theories and anti-alien sentiment. Sarah, now officially appointed as Earth's liaison to the Galactic Confederation, worked tirelessly to maintain peace. She organized cultural exchange programs, facilitated technological transfers, and mediated disputes between humans and aliens. But even as she worked to build bridges, Sarah couldn't shake the nagging feeling that Earth was being maneuvered into a position not entirely of its choosing. The threat that Zixol had mentioned remained frustratingly vague, with the alien citing security concerns whenever pressed for details. It all came to a head during a high-level meeting at the newly constructed Interstellar Diplomatic Center in Geneva. Representatives from Earth's major powers sat across from a delegation of alien races, the air thick with tension. "We've been patient," the U.S. president said, his voice tight with frustration. "But we need more information about this threat if we're expected to commit our resources to fighting it." Zixal's skin pulsed with agitation. "We understand your concerns, but revealing too much too soon could be catastrophic. The enemy has eyes and ears everywhere." "So you keep saying," the Chinese premier interjected. "But how can we trust you if you won't trust us?" As the argument escalated, Sarah noticed something odd. One of the alien delegates, a being of living crystal called a quatsi, was behaving strangely. Its facets were refracting light in an unusual pattern, almost like, "Everyone down!" Sarah shouted, lunging across the table. The world exploded into chaos. A blast of energy erupted from the quatsi, vaporizing several delegates instantly. Security forces rushed in, but their weapons seemed ineffective against the crystalline assassin. Acting on instinct, Sarah grabbed a pitcher of water and hurled it at the quatsi. The effect was immediate and shocking. The creature screamed in agony, its crystalline body cracking and splintering. In the aftermath of the attack, as medics tended to the wounded and security cordoned off the area, Sarah found herself face to face with Zixal. "You've just had your first encounter with the enemy," the ambassador said gravely. "The threat we spoke of. They're called the Void Hunters, and they can mimic any form of life. They've infiltrated every level of galactic society." Sarah looked at the shattered remains of the quatsi, her mind reeling. Why us? Why Earth? Zixal's eyes seemed to glow with an inner fire. "Because, Captain Chen, in all our travels across the cosmos, we've never encountered a species quite like humanity. Your adaptability, your creativity in the face of adversity, these qualities make you unique, and they may be our only hope against the Void Hunters." As the gravity of the situation sank in, Sarah realized that humanity's trial by fire had only just begun. The galaxy was a far more dangerous place than they had imagined, and Earth now stood at the precipice of a conflict that would determine the fate of all sentient life. "What do we do now?" Sarah asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Zixal placed a long-fingered hand on her shoulder. "Now, Captain Chen, we prepare for war, and we pray that humanity is ready for the challenge that lies ahead." As the sun set on that tumultuous day, Sarah gazed out at the Geneva skyline, now dotted with alien architecture. The world had changed irrevocably, and humanity's future hung in the balance. But as she watched people of all nations working alongside their new alien allies, cleaning up the aftermath of the attack, she felt a glimmer of hope. Humanity had faced extinction-level threats before, from ice ages to plagues to their own nuclear weapons. Each time, they had adapted, survived, and thrived. This new threat, as terrifying as it was, would be no different. Sarah straightened her shoulders and turned back to the bustling command center. There was work to be done, a galaxy to save, and humanity would be damned if they didn't give it their all. The era of Earth's isolation was over. The age of humanity's galactic adventure had begun. The galactic stage. In the months following the Geneva attack, Earth underwent a transformation unlike any in its history. The revelation of the Void Hunter's existence had galvanized humanity, uniting former adversaries under the banner of species survival. Captain Sarah Chen, now Admiral Chen, found herself at the helm of Earth's first interstellar diplomatic mission. The repurposed ISS Horizon, retrofitted with alien technology, cruised through the star-studded void towards the Galactic Confederation's capital world, Nexus Prime. Sarah stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling vortex of a wormhole as it engulfed their ship. The journey that would have taken decades using conventional propulsion was about to be completed in mere hours. Wormhole transit complete in 3, 2, 1. Lieutenant Rodriguez, now her trusted XO, counted down. The ship shuddered, and suddenly the vortex gave way to an alien sky. A gasp rippled through the bridge crew as Nexus Prime came into view. The planet was a marvel of cosmic engineering. Massive ring structures orbited the world, teeming with ships of all shapes and sizes. The surface below was a patchwork of ecosystems, each section seeming to house a different alien environment. It's like someone took a slice of every habitable world in the galaxy and stitched them together, Sarah mused, her voice filled with awe. As the horizon approached the designated docking station, a fleet of escort ships surrounded them. Each vessel represented a different member race of the Confederation, a display of unity and strength. The diplomatic summit that followed was a crash course in galactic politics for the human delegation. Sarah found herself navigating a complex web of alliances, ancient grudges, and conflicting agendas. The threat of the Void Hunters loomed over every discussion, but it quickly became clear that not every race viewed the danger with equal urgency. The Void Hunters have not breached our borders in millennia, argued Crix, the tentacled representative of the Zorn Imperium. Why should we commit our forces to a war that may never reach us? Sarah felt her patience wearing thin. With all due respect, Ambassador Crix, this isolationist thinking is exactly what the Void Hunters are counting on. United we stand, divided we fall. Her words seemed to strike a chord with some of the delegates, but others remained skeptical. The political maneuvering continued for days, with progress coming in fits and starts. It was during a rare moment of downtime that Sarah made a breakthrough. She had wandered into one of Nexus Prime's numerous gardens, marveling at the impossible array of alien flora. There, she encountered Zixal, the Confederation ambassador who had first contacted Earth. "You seem troubled, Admiral Chen," Zixal observed, its skin shimmering with empathetic patterns. Sarah sighed, running a hand through her short-cropped hair. "I'm beginning to understand why you were so desperate for humanity's help. The Confederation is fracturing from within." Zixal's large eyes blinked slowly. "You are perceptive, Admiral. The Void Hunter's greatest weapon has always been fear and mistrust. They sow discord, turning potential allies against each other. Then we need to give them a reason to unite," Sarah said, an idea forming in her mind. "Something that transcends individual interests." Over the next few days, Sarah worked tirelessly with her team and sympathetic alien allies. They compiled data on Void Hunter attacks, analyzed patterns, and developed predictive models. When she presented her findings to the Galactic Council, the impact was immediate. "What you're saying," the avian Scree representative chirped, "is that no race, no matter how isolated, is truly safe." Sarah nodded grimly. "The Void Hunters are playing a long game. They're not just consuming civilizations, they're strategically weakening the entire galaxy. Unless we stand together, we're all just waiting our turn to fall." Her words, backed by hard data and the fresh memory of Earth's own brush with the Void Hunters, finally broke through the political deadlock. A coalition began to form, with Earth playing a central role despite its newcomer status. But even as alliances were forged and strategies devised, a new challenge emerged. The Confederation's technology, while far advanced beyond Earth's, had proven ineffective against the Void Hunters' adaptive abilities. They needed a breakthrough, and they needed it fast. It was Rodriguez who first brought the potential solution to Sarah's attention. "Admiral, you need to see this," he said, excitement clear in his voice as he pulled up a holographic display. The image showed a team of human scientists working alongside alien researchers. They were adapting Earth's primitive but innovative technology to complement the Confederation's advanced systems. Are they using old Earth radio waves to detect Void Hunter shape-shifting?" Sarah asked, incredulous. Rodriguez nodded enthusiastically. "It turns out our primitive technology operates on principles the Void Hunters haven't adapted to. We're literally fighting them with antiques." The revelation sparked a technological renaissance. Human ingenuity, combined with alien resources, led to rapid advancements. Old Earth technologies were repurposed in ways their original inventors could never have imagined. Vacuum tubes became void hunter disruptors. Analog signals formed the basis of a new, unhackable communication network. As the coalition grew stronger and better equipped, the void hunters finally began to take notice. Reports of increased activity flooded in from the galaxy's outer rim. Entire star systems went dark. The enemy was mobilizing. In response, the newly formed Galactic Defense Force began to take shape. Ships were retrofitted, crews were trained, and battle plans were drawn up. At the heart of it all was the Human-Alien Collaborative Technology Division, or HACT, led by Sarah herself. But even as hope began to flourish, shadows lurked in the corners. Not everyone was pleased with humanity's rapid rise to prominence. Old powers saw their influence waning. Whispers of conspiracy and sabotage echoed through Nexus Prime's winding corridors. Sarah found herself walking a political tightrope, balancing the needs of Earth, the expectations of their alien allies, and the ever-present threat of the Void Hunters. The weight of entire civilizations rested on her shoulders, and the pressure was immense. One night, as she stood on a balcony overlooking the sprawling megacity of Nexus Prime's capital, Sarah felt the full gravity of her position. Countless alien lives bustled below, blissfully unaware of the cosmic chess game being played with their futures. "Quite a view, isn't it?" a voice said from behind her. Sarah turned to see Zixal approaching, its bioluminescent patterns glowing softly in the twilight. "It's overwhelming," Sarah admitted. "Sometimes I wonder if we're really ready for all this." Zixal's expression was unreadable, but its voice was warm. "Ready or not, Admiral Chen, you are here. And in my many cycles of existence, I have never seen a species adapt so quickly, so creatively to the challenges of the cosmos. You give an old being hope." Sarah managed a smile. "Let's just hope it's enough." As if in answer to her words, a klaxon suddenly blared across the city. Emergency lights bathed the skyline in a red glow. Sarah's communicator buzzed urgently. "Admiral Chen," Rodriguez's voice crackled through, tension evident even through the static. "We've got multiple Void Hunter signatures dropping out of FTL at the edge of the system. It's happening. They're here." Sarah's expression hardened, her moment of doubt evaporating in the face of the looming threat. She turned to Zixal, seeing her own determination mirrored in the alien's multifaceted eyes. "Well, Ambassador," she said, her voice steady and resolute, "it looks like humanity is about to face its first real test on the galactic stage." As sirens wailed and ships scrambled in the skies above, Sarah strode purposefully towards the command center. The Void Hunters had made their move. Now it was humanity's turn to show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. The battle for Nexus Prime, and perhaps the fate of the entire Galactic Confederation, was about to begin. Technological leap. The Battle of Nexus Prime would later be remembered as the moment humanity truly proved its worth to the galactic community. As Void Hunter ships descended upon the planet, the newly formed Galactic Defense Force scrambled to meet them. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the heart of the command center, her eyes darting between holographic displays showing the unfolding chaos. "Status report," she barked, her voice cutting through the tense atmosphere. "Void Hunter forces have breached the outer defense grid," Rodriguez reported, his fingers flying over his console. "They're adapting to our standard weaponry faster than we can recalibrate." Sarah's mind raced. This was the moment they had prepared for, the crucible that would test humanity's ingenuity. "Activate Project Throwback," she ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Across the battlefield, both in space and on the surface of Nexus Prime, human-designed retrofits sprang to life. Old Earth technologies, once considered obsolete, now became the front line of defense against an enemy that had grown complacent against advanced alien weaponry. Vacuum tube-powered disruptors fired bursts of energy that shredded the Void Hunter's adaptive shielding. Analog radar systems, immune to the enemy's digital warfare, provided targeting data with uncanny accuracy. Even primitive projectile weapons, enhanced with alien materials, proved devastatingly effective against foes used to energy-based attacks. The tide of battle began to turn. Void Hunter ships, for the first time in eons, found themselves on the defensive. Their ability to adapt, which had made them nearly invincible, was now working against them as they struggled to counter the sheer variety of human ingenuity. In the midst of the chaos, Sarah received an urgent communication. "Admiral," Zixal's voice crackled through. "We've detected a Void Hunter command ship attempting to breach the planetary shield. If it succeeds—" "I understand." Sarah cut in, her mind already formulating a plan. "Rodriguez, prep the Horizon for immediate launch. We're taking the fight to them." Minutes later, Sarah stood on the bridge of the Horizon as it rocketed through Nexus Prime's atmosphere. The ship, a hybrid of human design and alien technology, moved with a grace that belied its firepower. As they approached the massive Void Hunter command ship, Sarah felt a mix of awe and determination. The enemy vessel was a writhing mass of dark energy, constantly shifting and reforming. It dwarfed the Horizon, a predator eyeing its prey. "All hands, battle stations," Sarah commanded. "Activate the Faraday cage." The Horizon's hull crackled with energy as layers of interwoven copper mesh came to life, creating an impenetrable barrier against the Void Hunter's energy weapons and invasive tendrils. "Fire the Tesla cannons." Arcs of lightning, magnified to impossible levels by alien power sources, lashed out from the Horizon. The Void Hunter ship recoiled, its amorphous form rippling with visible pain. The battle raged on, a David and Goliath struggle in the stars above Nexus Prime. The Horizon darted and weaved, its human pilot's intuition combined with alien propulsion, creating a dance that the rigid Void Hunter eye struggled to predict. But even as they fought, Sarah noticed something odd. "Rodriguez, are you seeing this? The command ship, it's changing." Indeed, the massive vessel was transforming, its dark surface beginning to shimmer with an array of colors. Suddenly, Sarah understood. "It's trying to mimic our technology," she exclaimed. "But it can't replicate everything at once. There's our opening." Sarah's orders flew fast and furious. The Horizon unleashed its full arsenal, each weapon carefully timed to strike when the enemy ship was vulnerable to that particular attack. Laser bursts seared through momentarily unshielded sections. Kinetic rounds punched holes in areas mimicking energy shields. EMP blasts scrambled the ship's attempts at electronic warfare. With a final, desperate gambit, Sarah ordered the Horizon to ram the enemy vessel's command center, the Faraday cage protecting them from the Void Hunter's last-ditch energy discharge. The impact was tremendous. Alarms blared throughout the Horizon as systems overloaded and hull integrity warnings flashed. But as the dust settled, the crew watched in awe as the massive Void Hunter ship began to disintegrate, its coherence lost without its central intelligence. Cheers erupted across all channels as the remaining Void Hunter forces, suddenly cut off from their command, fell into disarray. The Battle of Nexus Prime was over. Humanity and their alien allies had won the day. In the aftermath of the battle, as rescue operations began and damage reports flooded in, Sarah found herself once again standing before the Galactic Council. But this time, the atmosphere was markedly different. Admiral Chen, the arch-speaker of the council, intoned, its voice reverberating through the Grand Chamber. "You and your people have done the impossible. You've given us hope in our darkest hour." Sarah stood tall, acutely aware of the eyes of 100 alien races upon her. "Humanity is honored to stand with the Galactic Confederation," she replied. "But this victory belongs to all of us. It's proof of what we can achieve when we combine our strengths." The arch-speaker nodded solemnly. "Indeed, and it is with this spirit of cooperation in mind that we make our proposal. We would like to establish a permanent human-led division within the Galactic Defense Force. Your unique perspective, your outdated technology," there were chuckles at this, "may well be the key to finally defeating the Void Hunters." Sarah's heart raced at the implications. This wasn't just acceptance. It was an acknowledgement of humanity's vital role in the galaxy's future. "We would be honored," she said, her voice thick with emotion. As the council chambers erupted in applause, Sarah's mind was already racing with possibilities. The battle was won, but the war was far from over. The Void Hunters would regroup, adapt, and return. But now, humanity would be ready. In the months that followed, a flurry of activity gripped both Earth and Nexus Prime. The Human-Alien Collaborative Technology Division expanded exponentially, with scientists and engineers from across the galaxy flocking to work alongside their human counterparts. Old technologies were given new life. The principles behind vacuum tubes led to the development of quantum-resistant computing. Analog communication methods evolved into an untappable galactic network. Even humanity's early forays into genetic engineering provided insights into countering the Void Hunters' shape-shifting abilities. But with humanity's rising status came new challenges. Some races, once dismissive of the primitive humans, now viewed Earth with suspicion and fear. Political maneuvering intensified, with various factions seeking to curry favor with or undermine the newcomers to the galactic stage. Sarah found herself navigating increasingly treacherous diplomatic waters. Every decision, every technological breakthrough, carried weight far beyond its immediate implications. The fate of entire civilizations hung in the balance, and the pressure was immense. One evening, as she stood in her office on Nexus Prime, looking out at the glittering skyline, Sarah received an unexpected visitor. Admiral Chen, Zixal's melodious voice called out, "May I have a moment of your time?" Sarah turned, offering a tired smile to the alien ambassador, who had become something of a mentor to her. "Of course, Zixal. What's on your mind?" The alien's bioluminescent patterns pulsed with an emotion Sarah had learned to recognize as concern. "I fear we may have placed too heavy a burden on your shoulders, my friend. The hopes of the galaxy are a weighty thing to bear." The coming storm. The years following the Battle of Nexus Prime saw an unprecedented era of cooperation and advancement across the Galactic Confederation. Humanity, once dismissed as primitive newcomers, now stood at the forefront of the fight against the Void Hunters. Admiral Sarah Chen, her hair now streaked with gray, stood aboard the bridge of the GSV Prometheus, Earth's first true interstellar warship. A marvel of human ingenuity and alien technology, the Prometheus represented the pinnacle of the collaborative efforts between Earth and its cosmic allies. Status report, Sarah commanded, her eyes scanning the holographic displays surrounding her. Commander Rodriguez, his own face showing the wear of years of high-stress operations, responded promptly. "All systems nominal. Admiral. The quantum entanglement drive is operating at peak efficiency. We're ready to make the jump to the Andromeda Galaxy on your order." Sarah nodded, a mix of pride and apprehension coursing through her. The mission ahead was unprecedented. A preemptive strike against a Void Hunter staging area in a neighboring galaxy. It was a bold move, one that had been hotly debated in the halls of the Galactic Council. "Send the signal to the fleet," Sarah ordered. "Prepare for transgalactic jump." As the Prometheus and its escort fleet prepared to make history, Sarah couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought them here. The integration of human and alien technologies had progressed at a staggering pace. Earth's primitive concepts, combined with advanced alien science, had led to breakthroughs that would have once been thought impossible. The quantum entanglement drive was just one example, based on principles first theorized by human scientists centuries ago and brought to fruition through alien engineering. It allowed for instantaneous travel across vast cosmic distances. It was this technology that now enabled them to take the fight directly to the Void Hunters' home territory. As the fleet made the jump, the familiar starscape of the Milky Way vanished, replaced by the alien constellations of Andromeda. But the moment of awe was short-lived. Multiple contacts. Rodriguez shouted, "Void Hunter signatures detected." They knew we were coming. Sarah's mind raced. How could the enemy have anticipated their move? The plan had been known only to a select few at the highest levels of the Galactic Confederation. "Battle stations," she commanded. "Deploy the chronoshields and ready the tachyon cannons." The space around them erupted into chaos. Void hunter ships, dark and writhing masses of negative energy, swarmed towards the Confederation fleet. But this time, humanity was prepared. The chronoshields, a revolutionary defense system that phased ships partially out of normal spacetime, flickered to life around the Confederation vessels. Void hunter energy weapons passed harmlessly through them, their attacks quite literally lost in time. Meanwhile, the tachyon cannons, weapons that fired particles faster than light itself, lanced out from the human ships. The Void Hunters, for all their adaptive abilities, found themselves unable to defend against attacks that struck them before their sensors could even detect them. But even as the battle raged, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The Void Hunters' tactics seemed off, almost as if it's a trap. She realized with sudden clarity. This isn't their staging area. They lured us here. No sooner had the words left her mouth than a massive gravitational distortion appeared behind the Confederation fleet. A Void Hunter megastructure, larger than anything they had encountered before, phased into existence. "Evasive maneuvers," Sarah shouted, but it was too late. Tendrils of dark energy lashed out, ensnaring several ships. The trapped vessels shuddered, their crews crying out in agony as the Void Hunters began their gruesome assimilation process. Sarah watched in horror as allied ships, some crewed by races she had come to call friends, were torn apart or corrupted before her eyes. The casualties were mounting, and for the first time since taking command, she felt the icy grip of despair. But humanity had not come this far to falter now. "Rodriguez," Sarah said, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. "Initiate Protocol Omega." Rodriguez's eyes widened. "Admiral, that's untested technology. We don't know if." "We're out of options, Commander." Sarah cut him off. "Do it." With a nod, Rodriguez input a complex series of commands. Deep within the Prometheus, a device of human design married to alien power sources hummed to life. The Cosmic Resonance Amplifier, or CRA, was based on a principle so simple that most advanced races had overlooked it: the idea that the universe itself had a fundamental frequency, a cosmic background noise that could be tapped into and manipulated. As the CRA powered up, a low hum permeated space itself. The Void Hunter megastructure faltered, its dark energy tendrils recoiling as if in pain. The assimilated ships, their crews trapped in a nightmarish limbo between humanity and Void Hunter corruption, suddenly froze. "It's working," Rodriguez exclaimed. "The CRA is disrupting their molecular cohesion." Sarah allowed herself a moment of hope. "All ships, concentrate fire on the megastructure. This is our chance." The battle that followed would be remembered for generations across 2 galaxies. Human ingenuity, alien technology, and sheer determination combined to push back the Void Hunter threat. The megastructure, unable to adapt to the fundamental cosmic frequencies being weaponized against it, began to collapse in on itself. As the last Void Hunter ships retreated or were destroyed, a cheer went up across the Confederation fleet. They had done it. They had struck a significant blow against an enemy long thought invincible. But as the adrenaline of battle faded, the cost of their victory became clear. Nearly a third of the fleet had been lost. Thousands of lives, human and alien alike, had been sacrificed to secure this win. In the aftermath, as rescue operations began and the fleet prepared for the long journey home, Sarah received an urgent communication from Nexus Prime. The holographic form of Zixal appeared, its usual shimmer noticeably subdued. "Admiral Chen, we've received your battle report. The Council is divided on how to proceed." Sarah frowned. "Divided? We've just handed the Void Hunters their first major defeat in millennia. What's there to be divided about?" Zixal's form flickered, its discomfort evident even through the hologram. "There are those who feel that the losses were too great, that the human propensity for risk-taking is too dangerous. And there are other concerns. What aren't you telling me, Zixal? Sarah pressed, a sense of unease growing in her gut. The alien ambassador seemed to age before her eyes. We have evidence of a leak, Sarah. Someone with high-level access provided information to the Void Hunters. That's how they knew to set the trap. The implications hit Sarah like a physical blow. A traitor in the highest echelons of the Galactic Confederation. The political ramifications alone were staggering, to say nothing of the strategic damage. I'm returning to Nexus Prime immediately, Sarah declared. We need to get to the bottom of this. As she ended the communication, Sarah gazed out at the unfamiliar stars of the Andromeda galaxy. They had won a battle, perhaps even turned the tide of the war. But a new conflict was brewing, one that couldn't be won with weapons or technology. The storm that had been gathering since humanity's entrance onto the galactic stage was about to break, and Sarah had a sinking feeling that this tempest might prove even more dangerous than the Void Hunters themselves. As the Prometheus and its battered fleet began the long journey home, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that the true test of humanity's place in the cosmos was yet to come. The coming storm would challenge not just their technology or their courage, but the very principles that define them as a species. The battle against the Void Hunters had been won, but the war for the soul of the Galactic Confederation was just beginning. Humanity's finest hour, the return to Nexus Prime, was far from the triumphant homecoming Sarah had envisioned. As the battered Confederation fleet limped into orbit, the atmosphere aboard the Prometheus was tense with unspoken fears and suspicions. Sarah stood before the Galactic Council, her uniform still bearing the scorch marks from the battle in Andromeda. The circular chamber, usually a symbol of unity, now felt more like a gladiatorial arena. Admiral Chen, the Archspeaker began, its multifaceted eyes unreadable. Your actions in Andromeda were unprecedented. You've struck a significant blow against the Void Hunters. Yes, but at what cost? Sarah squared her shoulders. With all due respect, Archspeaker, we knew the risks. Every being on that mission volunteered, knowing what was at stake. We. And what of the risks we didn't know about? A voice interrupted. Crix, the Zorn representative, slithered forward. Like the risk of human recklessness spreading through our ranks like a virus, or the risk of traitors in our midst. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Sarah felt her jaw clench. If you have an accusation to make, Crix, make it plainly. The Zorn's tentacles writhed with agitation. Very well. We believe that humanity's rapid rise to prominence has made you arrogant, dangerous. The leak that led to the ambush in Andromeda. We have reason to believe it came from Earth. The chamber erupted into chaos. Accusations flew. Alliances that had seemed unshakable just days ago now strained to the breaking point. Sarah stood in the eye of the storm, her mind racing. It was Zixal who finally restored order, its voice cutting through the din with unexpected authority. Enough. We face an enemy that would see us all destroyed, and yet we bicker amongst ourselves. This is exactly what the Void Hunters want. In the silence that followed, Sarah saw her opening. Zixal is right. We can't afford to be divided now. Yes, humanity has risen quickly, but not out of arrogance. We've simply done what we've always done. Adapt, innovate, survive. And we've done it not just for ourselves, but for all of you. She paused, her gaze sweeping the chamber. As for the accusation of treachery, I welcome a full investigation. Earth has nothing to hide. But consider this, who benefits most from this discord? Not humanity, not any race here, only the Void Hunters. The council chamber fell into contemplative silence. It was the Archspeaker who finally broke it. Your words have merit, Admiral Chen. But words alone are not enough. We need proof of humanity's commitment to the Confederation, not just to their own survival. Sarah nodded, a plan already forming in her mind. Then let us provide it. I propose a joint mission, not just humans and a few allies, but representatives from every race in the Confederation. Together, we'll root out this traitor and take the fight back to the Void Hunters. The proposal was met with a mix of skepticism and hope. After hours of debate, a compromise was reached. A diverse team would be assembled, with Sarah at its head, to investigate the leak and launch a counteroffensive against the Void Hunters. As the newly formed team prepared for their mission, Sarah found herself facing challenges she had never anticipated. Coordinating a crew comprised of dozens of different species, each with their own biology, culture, and way of thinking, proved to be a monumental task. But it was in these challenges that humanity's greatest strengths shone through. Their adaptability, their creativity in the face of adversity, became the glue that held the disparate team together. Human diplomats mediated interspecies conflicts. Human engineers found innovative ways to modify ship systems to accommodate the needs of every crew member. As they delved deeper into the mystery of the traitor, following a trail of encrypted data and shadowy transactions, the team began to coalesce into a true unit. Species that had been at odds for millennia found common ground in their shared mission. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Lieutenant Kira Chen, Sarah's daughter and a prodigy in xenolinguistics, discovered a pattern in the leaked data. "It's not a language exactly," she explained to the assembled team. "It's more like the genetic code of communication itself." Working with a quantum scientist, a being of pure energy and mathematical precision, Kira deciphered the code. What they found chilled them to the core. "It's not a single traitor," Sarah breathed, looking at the decoded data. "It's an entire shadow network. Sleeper agents from a dozen different races, all working together." The implications were staggering. This wasn't just about the Void Hunters anymore. This conspiracy threatened the very foundations of the Galactic Confederation. As they raced to unravel the conspiracy, the Void Hunters struck again. Multiple systems came under attack simultaneously, a coordinated assault that threatened to overwhelm the Confederation's defenses. Sarah knew that they were out of time. In a bold, some would say reckless move, she ordered a direct assault on what they believed to be the conspiracy's headquarters, a supposedly abandoned space station on the edge of Confederation space. The battle that followed would go down in galactic history. The joint team, humans fighting alongside beings they had once considered alien, faced off against traitors from their own ranks and Void Hunter forces. It was in the heart of the station, as Sarah faced down the conspiracy's leader, a being of shadows and shifting form. That humanity's true value to the galaxy became clear. "You don't understand," the being hissed, its form flickering between different species. "The Void Hunters are inevitable. We sought to save what we could by serving them." Sarah stood her ground, supported by her diverse team. "No, what you don't understand is that there's always another way. Always. That's what humanity brings to this galaxy, not just our technology or our tactics, but our hope, our refusal to accept the inevitable." As if to punctuate her words, the station rocked with explosions. The Confederation fleet, united once more, had arrived to turn the tide. In the aftermath of the battle, as the full extent of the conspiracy was revealed and the immediate Void Hunter threat was pushed back, Sarah once again stood before the Galactic Council. But this time, the atmosphere was different. The Archspeaker's voice rang out, filled with a new respect. "Admiral Chen, you and your people have done more than win a battle. You've shown us what it truly means to be united. In our darkest hour, humanity has lit the way forward." One by one, representatives from every race in the Confederation stood, offering their support and gratitude. The age of division was over. A new era of true galactic cooperation was dawning. As Sarah looked out at the assembled beings, she felt a profound sense of pride, not just in humanity, but in what they had achieved together. They had faced their greatest challenge and emerged stronger for it. The Void Hunters were still out there, a threat looming on the cosmic horizon. But now, the galaxy faced that threat not as a collection of disparate races, but as a true confederation, united, innovative, and filled with an unshakable hope for the future. As she left the council chamber, Sarah's gaze fell on the stars visible through a vast window. Each point of light represented not just distant suns, but homes, civilizations, billions of lives now depending on this new alliance. Humanity had found its place in the cosmos, not as conquerors or saviors, but as partners, friends, fellow travelers on the grand journey of existence. The challenges ahead were immense, but for the first time since she'd stepped onto the galactic stage, Sarah felt truly optimistic about the future. The storm had been weathered, the dawn of a new age was breaking, and humanity stood ready to face whatever the universe had in store, together with their newfound galactic family. As the first rays of Nexus Prime's sun peeked over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of hope, Sarah Chen smiled. Humanity's finest hour wasn't just a moment in time, it was the beginning of an entire era. An era of unity, discovery, and limitless possibility. The galaxy would never be the same, and that, Sarah realized, was the greatest victory of all.